for this?
Good morning. Welcome to week 13 of the Foundry Football League's fantasy football. This, my friends, is the pretty good week this week. We are determining whether or not we can get some guys into the playoffs. Anyways, before we get started on that, let me give a big round of applause to that team do-overs, I think they're called. Nah, I think it's called mulligans. Whatever, same thing, right? Anyways, yeah, they had 153.7 points last week. Wow. And of course, they put it on the Tigers, and the Tigers having I think, I'm not even sure. Let me take a look. I think they had like half that, maybe? Something like that. Anyways, it doesn't matter. It was pretty much a crushing. 78.1 points was the answer there. So anyways, congratulations, and let's get out of that now. Let's move on to, I would like to talk a little bit about the standings again. I know I did that the other day, or the other week. But anyways, I'm going to start with the non-Ferris League this week, which is Homeless, SMB, Desert Damned, and East End Vandals. Right now, it looks that Homeless has, no, it doesn't look. Homeless, the Spirit Homeless has that locked up with 8-4. So technically, they could probably just go ahead and, rest their guys for the next 3 weeks and still have that division locked up. So that brings us to the two teams underneath them, those Team SMB and Desert Dam. Let's just say, for instance, Team SMB and Desert Dam, they were to win out somehow. One of them was to win out. That would give them a 7-8 record, which would be going up against the other teams in the other divisions. Of course, they would have to also lose out, and that would be Firestorm, which would put them at 7-8. Molten Metal, which would put them at 7-8. Plasma Arc, which would put them at 7-8. If any of these teams were to lose out, and SMB and Desert Dam were to win out, one of those two teams, there would be quite a battle for the wild card position. There would be 1, 2, 3, 4, possibly 4 teams battling for wild card, which would be quite interesting, which could play out to be very, very interesting. All right, so let's go ahead and take a look at the other two divisions, or at least one of the other two. We're going to look at Alloy and Ferris next. There is only 3 total, but so Alloy, starting with Alloy, we have Cobra Kai, Molten Metal, Plasma Arc, Killers, and Claysburg Brickbats. Bringing that up. This is a very close division here because we have a similar situation as in the non-Ferris League, where we have the Brickbats at 4-8, like in the non-Ferris League with Team SMB and Desert Dam at 4-8. This is one of the other teams that could, if they win out, and say Cobra Kai loses out, that wouldn't be enough. Cobra Kai would still have a place, but Claysburg Brickbats could get into the, if Molten Metal and Plasma Arc lose out, that would put them at 7-8, 7-8, and 7-8. All 3 teams in the Alloy division would be at 7-8. Wow, that would be interesting. But anyway, at any rate, Cobra Kai's at 8-4, locking up their division right now. So if Molten Metal and Plasma Arc, or Plasma Arc, because both teams can't win out, they do play each other, I believe, at least once. So that would put one of them at 10-5 if they went out. Cobra Kai would have to lose one, would put them at 10-5. Then, of course, it goes to points. So this is a very, very close division, and anything can happen in the Alloy division. We'll get to points in a minute. Let's talk a little bit about the Ferris division. We have Team Do-Overs, All Voltage, La Habra Fire Sticks, and Cristobal Takers. All Voltage is at 8-4. Firestorm is at 7-5. Firestorm, I'm sure, would love to see All Voltage and Team Mulligans take losses. I believe Firestorm is playing Team Mulligans this week. And Mulligans takes a loss to Firestorm. That brings everybody. That's a three-way tie then, I think. Is that how that would work? I would need to take a look at that. Let's see. If Mulligans loses and Firestorm wins, the three teams go to, let's see, Mulligans goes to 9-4. La Habra goes to 8-5. So we need in this division, and I'm in this division, so I need. I'm really kind of rooting for Firestorm to win, just to bring Mulligans down a notch. And if I could win it, that would put me at 9-4, Mulligans at 9-4, La Habra at 8-5. Wow, what this is wow. It's getting really, really tight. It's getting really, really interesting. It's getting the next 3 weeks are going to be very, 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 very much fun to watch, I think. Anyways, let's take a look at the standings right now as it sits. As it sits right now, Mulligans is in first place in Ferris. Hesperia Homeless is in first place in non-Ferris, and Cobra Kai is in first place in Alloy. So, if any of those scenarios would be to pan out, it would go to points at any given time. Points 4 right now. That's what it would go to. Points 4 first. First, well, obviously it goes to matchups, but in the event of these ties that we're looking to have in the win categories, right now, standing right now with the most points in the league is Team Mulligans, but second place is La Habra Firestorm. So if somehow Mulligans was to lose 2 games and Fire Sticks was to win 1, Storm, I keep getting that mixed up. They were to, it would come down to the three of us. I don't know. Mulligans would still win it because they have the most points. In non-Ferris, the most points is Hesperia Homeless, and in Alloy, the most points is Cobra Kai. Obviously, these two teams are they have the most points because they're winning all their games, I guess. But we also have a category called Points Against. At the end of the year, I believe we give $40 to the team with the most points against. And if that was to end right now, the team with the most points against looks to be the Desert Damned with 1253. So something to look forward to if you're falling behind in the win category. Anyways, let's take a look at Swami's predictions. Well, here we go again. Let's see. Swami is taking a look at week 13 now. He is going to start with Homeless versus SMB. You know, I could take you through all of the specifics, but Homeless pretty much has locked up that division, so it really doesn't matter. Kind of considering the rest of all the Homeless players, I was kind of considering resting the Homeless players But we'll put in a full lineup because it would cost dollars to do that anyway. So resting them, and I think I'm going to take Holmes for the win. Good luck to SMB though. That brings me to Brickbats. They got a very, very hard matchups this week. I'm thinking that Molten Metal, I don't know, let me see here. I guess I'm going to have to take Metal for the win because Brickbats, really your matchups are tough. So Metal to win. That brings me to La Habra Fire Sticks at the Do-Overs. What a show this one will be to watch this week. Mulligans has Breeze this week, okay? Well, he has had Breeze all along, and that's been his freaking candy or whatever you want to call it. Anyways, Breeze is going against Seattle this week, at Seattle. And Seattle's pretty tough at Seattle. So I don't like his matchup there. I don't think he's getting any 40 points or anything out of Breeze this week. So my guess is going to be in the 20s. That's going to shut down his team a lot. And however, Sticks' numero uno running back is going against the number 2 defense in the league. And that's not a favorable matchup. But at the end of the day, after it's all said and done, even though I need Mulligans to lose, I'm taking Firestorm to be victorious. That's right. You heard it here first. That brings me to Arc versus Cobra Kai. Plasma Arc Killers versus Cobra Kai. I think Arc he makes the move of sitting Brady this week and playing Foles, which is probably a good idea because, you know, Brady's been so inconsistent. So, but I don't know if that's going to be enough. Both running backs have bad matchups. Both his running backs have bad matchups. I look for a close one here, but I'm going to have to pick Cobra Kai for the win. And then Dam versus Vandals. That's the Desert Dam versus the East End Vandals. Will be another close one here this week, but as I see it, the Damned has better matchups, so I'm taking the Desert Dam this week to be victorious. And there you have it. Week 13. Good luck to all you fantasy football players. Hope you had a great Thanksgiving. Peace.